Someone is narrating my life a week in advance. I think they just predicted my death. I wouldn't consider myself the type of person that anyone would find interesting. I'm rather shy and I would much rather be by myself. That's why I was so confused when I searched my name and got a result. I don't know why I searched my name in the first place. I don't use social media, and there are plenty of other people named Chris. But when I searched my name, I found a YouTube video. It was titled, Chris Wilson, How His Week Went. The thumbnail was a photo of my face, and the YouTube channel was called Chris's Life. Strange. I decided to click the video. It began. There was what appeared to be stock footage of a car. It was the same model of my car. The man who called himself the narrator spoke. Chris Wilson was having a bad week. The stress of the week was getting the best of him. He was waiting desperately for the weekend. When Friday and 5 p.m. came, he rushed out of his 9-to-5 job at the office and got into his car. He got on the highway and exited after about 15 minutes. He entered his small town and began driving down Main Street. He was listening to 80s music and thinking of Anna, his co-worker. Chris would consider them friends, but he wanted it to be more than that. He wanted to ask her out on a date, but deep inside he knew she wouldn't say yes. After all, who would want to date a freak like Chris Wilson? He was too busy wallowing around in his self-pity that he didn't notice the drunk driver. They crashed. Chris only sustained minor injuries, but the same couldn't be said for the drunk man. His arm had been hanging out of the window as he drove, and when he hit Chris, his arm had been smashed and dismembered. Chris could see the blood gushing out, and the bone sticking out. It was covered in. I skipped ahead a few seconds. I didn't want to listen to the detail the man was describing. The man survived, and Chris was let free, as the man was intoxicated. Chris, however, still felt extremely guilty. So that was Chris's week. I hope you enjoyed this movie, and be sure to leave a like. Then, a strange, distorted voice said, "No VMAs." That was the video. I was more confused than scared. It was sure that this was some insane person who was stalking my internet history. I may or may not have posted a question to a dating advice site about Anna. There were no other videos on the channel, so I went on with my life. That was, until Friday came. I was driving home, and flipping through stations. I eventually landed on an 80s station. Then the realization came to me. The YouTube channel was right, but that meant I wasn't able to finish my sentence before the car hit me. Luckily, I wasn't too injured. I couldn't say the same for the other guy. Gore is much harder to look at than it is to hear about. Your imagination isn't as bad as it actually is. There was blood everywhere, and his arm. It was one of the most traumatizing things I have ever seen. Luckily, I was set free and the man survived, just as the video predicted. I was scared to look at his channel, but eventually, I worked up the nerve to search it. The video I had watched earlier was gone, but there was a new video. I clicked on it. It was similar to the last, a thumbnail of my face, along with stock footage along with the narrator's voice. So you thought that last week was bad, but this week is going to get worse. I hope you guys are ready. On Tuesday, Chris found out that his mother died of a heart attack. That's gotta hurt. And as you probably know, Chris is a wimp, and doesn't even go to her funeral. He really should man up, but I doubt he can. I hope you enjoyed this movie, and be sure to leave a like. Again, at the end of the video, a distorted voice spoke, "Schio vestri vigilo." I think you can guess what happened on Tuesday. But I was determined to prove the video wrong. I was going to go to the funeral. So I got into my car and drove to my hometown. However, an hour into my drive, I felt tired. After a few minutes, I backed out. I awoke in my bed. It was Wednesday. I looked at my phone, and I had lots of angry texts from my brother about how I didn't attend the funeral. Again, no matter how hard I tried, the video became true. I decided not to watch the video for the next week. Instead, I decided to go out with my friends. After a night of drinking, I began to walk back to my car. My friends were all driving home in their respective cars. I was about to unlock the door when a man who looked like they were high on something strange jumped out from behind it, and pulled out a gun and aimed it at me. "Alright kid, you know the drill. Give me your wallet," or I'll fill you with lead. I reached for my wallet, but then I realized I left it at the bar. Listen, I don't have it on me. I can go get it. Shut up. I know you're lying. The man reached into my pockets and realized I was telling the truth. I guess you weren't lying. It's your lucky day. I'm not gonna rob you, the man mockingly said. Unfortunately, I'm still going to kill you. The man then shot me 3 times in the chest. He grabbed my car keys and then left in my car. I awoke in the hospital and wasn't able to move anything below my stomach. I was paralyzed. The doctors treated me well, and after an X-ray, they discovered that there was still a bullet lodged in my body, near my heart. If I didn't get surgery, I would die. Unfortunately, the surgery is very dangerous. I had a very high chance of death. 2 weeks before my surgery, I decided to watch a video from the channel. It was shorter than the others. Unfortunately, dear viewers, this may be the last episode. He may not survive his surgery. Hopefully, the surgeons are clumsy, but we can only pray. This is the narrator, signing off for possibly the last time. A serier, the day of the surgery came, and I worked up the nerve to look at the channel before the surgery. As much as I wanted to avoid it, I needed to know the outcome. I looked up the channel, and all I found was a 404 error screen.